Hello, Internet people. I'm back with another Patreon preview. This time it's for my project that I'm doing for the month of October. In my past two projects, I sort of experimented with some electronic music. Well, at least what I think of as electronic music, because I really have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to those genres. But it's always good to, go outside of your comfort zone and explore different genres. But for this month, I'm going back to, I guess you could say, going back to my roots. I grew up listening to pop and rock, and one of my favorite groups in the 1970s was Fleetwood Mac, especially the period when Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks first joined. Now, during this time, Lindsey Buckingham was playing the Les Paul, and I really loved the sound that he got out of that guitar. In the later stuff that he did with Fleetwood Mac, he started using that Rick Turner guitar, which honestly I'm not a fan. I think it sounds too shrill. It sounds like an acoustic that has a pickup in it. At least to me it does. So for this Vocaloid song, I wanted to write a song that was in that style of Fleetwood Mac, the whole Southern California sound, Eagles, Jackson Browne, that kind of stuff. Okay, so this song is 140 beats per minute. I decided to use Amy. I think her voice suits the song very well. For right now, I'm using Amy style. I might change that. The Amy style is, which is her default style, I think it's very hard to work with. You can see the default pitch curves. It's very ragged. Like right here, you can see how jagged it is. So it's not a very smooth sounding style. What really helps though is using effects, especially the compressor, to smooth that out. And as I've mentioned before in my previous videos, I almost never use the built-in effects in the Vocaloid 5 editor. I just leave all that off because I want to do all the processing in my digital audio workstation. But for this purpose of recording the video, I slapped some on. And you can see in my mixer, I slapped it on the track. Compressor, delay, and reverb. And to my surprise, the built-in effects are actually pretty darn good. And you can actually do your mixing, I think, completely in the Vocaloid 5 editor. It's gotten to a point where it's almost like a digital audio workstation. But anyway, going back here, I want to turn that off. I want to show you or let you listen to the guitar track and the drum track I prepared for the just as my scratch track. Give that a listen. So what do you think? Does that sound like a Fleetwood Mac song? Kind of, maybe? Anyway, if you think the drums sounded like Fleetwood Mac, then you would be right, because I'm actually using drum loops by Mick Fleetwood. I bought these. They're put out by Sonic Foundry, and they're actually pretty good. And obviously, if I'm going to do a Fleetwood Mac style song, I'm going to use drum loops by Mick Fleetwood. Now, as far as the guitar is concerned, my go-to guitar with humbuckers is my PRS Santana SE, which I bought in 2001. I actually have a Les Paul copy. It's one of those Bradley guitars that was the house brand for Veneman's Music way back when. And I bought it simply because I felt that, everybody should have a Les Paul style guitar. But I've never really liked it. It's okay, but I think the pickups are kind of muddy. And the neck feel of Les Paul style guitars, I'm not really crazy about. The PRS SE, though, has a really wide, fat neck, and I like that feel. And the humbuckers have very nice clarity. It's not muddy at all. So that's always my go-to guitar when I want to use humbuckers. And so that's why you have this. Eight bars for the intro. Normally I'm very short with the intro, 4 bars, but I put in a full 8 bars. And so I'm going to have to slap on some kind of lead guitar on that, and I'll worry about that later. But here's verse with and I've only gotten the verse in the first chorus section, but this is the draft of Amy singing. I'm up to my neck into the pond, I don't know how to get myself out. I'm still living at my parents' home, waiting for a house my mama bought. As you can see, I did do some tuning. You can tell how the pitch curve changes here. And again, normally I don't do a lot of tuning because as I'm writing the song, because I think it's distracting. It takes time away from actually the writing portion. I prefer to just completely write the whole song out, but sometimes I can't help myself. I hear something and I think, oh man, I got to fix that. So I admit I sometimes will do tuning while I'm writing, but for the most part, I think the best idea is to just write the whole song out before you do any tuning. Here's the second section of the verse, and somebody tell me why this doesn't work the way I think it's supposed to work. I've got auto scroll turned on, but when it goes to the other section, it will not follow. That is annoying because I don't want to have a Vocaloid song which is one giant long section. I like to break up my sections because I will copy and paste. There's no reason to redo the whole chorus. And I'm not gonna, and I don't want to highlight all the notes and copy the chorus. I just want to copy the entire chorus section and paste it later on. But when you break it up into sections, it won't. The stupid it won't auto scroll. That's annoying. But anyway, here's the second part. Now my papa's telling me that he wants me to ride a brand new Mercedes Benz. It's pretty clear my parents think a little handsome. Oh, here comes the chorus. Now remember, the chorus should always be your hook. Your catchiest part. I'm only 22, but my hands too bad. I just wanna have the chance to live my own life. I wanna travel the world in search of that special life. I had to rework the chorus because the first time I did it, it sounded an awful lot like Fleetwood Mac's Blue Letter, the chorus in there. And when I had listened to it, I thought, oops. And I pulled up Blue Letter and listened to that, and I realized, yeah, that's just way too much alike. So I had to completely redo it. The funny thing is, the chorus is it's a 6-5-1 progression, F sharp minor going to E to A. When you play that, it's like it wants you to have a certain melody. I mean, it just pulls you into a certain melody. Although that's probably not true. Actually, I'm sure it's not true. I only think it pulls me into a certain melody because I've listened to Fleetwood Mac's Blue Letter. And to me, that's the perfect melody for that progression. But I'm not gonna knowingly copy somebody's song. I realized that it just sounded too much like it, so I had to redo it. Although I think, obviously, if I could use that melody, that would have sounded a lot better. But I came up with this one, and I think it's all right. I'm only 22, but my hands too bad. I just wanna have the chance to live my own life. I wanna travel the world in search of that special life. I'll have to see how it sounds when I throw in all the harmonies. I want 2 more harmony sections for this to really make this chorus section sound full. But anyway, that's what I have so far for my Patreon October project. And if you join Patreon, if you join my Patreon, you'll get access to all my files because I post the Vocaloid 5 editor files along with the stems that I use in from my Studio One digital audio workstation. But you don't have to join. In fact, I recommend that you don't join because it's kind of a waste of money. You don't need to be spending any more money on something like this. We're getting nickel and dime to death for everything. Internet service, movies. It's not worth it. Go save your money and, buy some candy. Anyway, that's what I have for October.